We now want to get back to the investigation in South Toledo, where 2 people were killed after an explosion and fire at Brent Industries early this morning. Tim Miller joins us live. Tim, this fire is still burning?
It is, Kaylee. 13 hours, now more than 13 hours since that explosion and fire rocked this neighborhood and industrial area here in South Toledo. Toledo firefighters right now are still putting water on those flames, and they are going to be out here for several hours longer. We want to show you more of that massive flames and thick black smoke that were just pouring out of Brent Industries at around 4:50 this morning, right at a shift change. Toledo fire investigators are still trying to determine what sparked the explosion, but there were drums of chemicals inside, possibly mineral spirits, and there are chemicals still in the rubble here. Parts of the building collapsed in the explosion or fire, and the Lucas County coroner has not released the 2 employees' names who died here, but Lenore Bangura tells me her mother, Mary Allen, died in the tragedy. Mary was a 13-year employee at Brent Industries. She loved her job. Here is more now from the fire chief on just how long crews might be out here.
I mean, we are planning right now, we're recalling personnel to be here all night, but I really can't say. It could be a day, it could be longer, depending on how much product is back there and smoldering, and whether we can access it or not and remove it, because sometimes we have to, cut and remove pieces of the roofing because things will be smoldering underneath.
Mayor Wade Kapsakavich says his office has received several calls from national media today about this tragedy. We do know at least 2 networks are here, including CBS News. There are also 6 arson investigators from Toledo Fire here. We're told that's standard operating procedure when there's loss of life in a fire, nothing suspicious at this point. And we have also learned that the family of Mary Allen is going to have a candlelight vigil just down the road from here at Elmdale and South Avenue in her honor tonight at 8 o'clock. Live in South Toledo, Tim Miller, WTOL 11.
And tonight we are also hearing from the people in the homes closest to the explosion site. Jack Crum, he is live on Shea Street. So, Jack, what were neighbors telling you?
Well, Jeff, people who saw it first or heard it first were actually right here in the surrounding areas, like on Shea Street, and within about a mile within this spot right here. Now, some neighbors that I talked with described the feeling like an earthquake, telling me their houses literally shook. They also say the faint smell of plastic was almost instant and has lingered throughout the day. Several homeowners found burnt debris on their front lawns and on top of their cars. And one person I talked to earlier today on Shea Street told me it was the loudest thing he'd ever heard.
I was kind of about ready to get out of bed, give or take about 4:45, 4:50, and all of a sudden I heard this huge explosion, like a fireworks times a million. And at first I thought someone ran into my house. It was that loud, and I was scared to get out of bed to go see what it was. And then I heard a second one about 2 to 3 minutes later.
Now, his next door neighbor actually shared some doorbell camera footage from that explosion here this morning. You can hear it twice, very distinctly, very loudly. You can find that video on our social media pages. For now, reporting in South Toledo, I'm Jack Crum, WTOL 11.
EPA health officials say testing for air quality this morning thankfully did not show hazardous particles in the air. Annalise Corneo Garcia joins us live. Annalise, you spoke with health officials. What are they telling you?
Yeah, Kaylee, the sunny skies right now, as you can see behind me, are covered by a thin layer of smoke. And health officials I spoke with say there are ways to mitigate some of the side effects that may go along with it. Tonight,
the smoke that is coming up from this large fire is visible this morning on radar. You can see it right here in the central part of Toledo. Let me zoom on in and show this to you. This is extremely rare to get a fire this big that radars that are 100 miles away can pick this up.
the flames are out in South Toledo, but hours later, that smoke continues to linger, leaving people living nearby with questions about the air they're breathing.
Higher levels of smoke, gases, or chemicals can make breathing more difficult.
An EPA official says organizations tested the air quality around what was left of the building throughout the morning.
Most of the air monitoring that came back early on was at non-detect, so not detecting any levels of hazardous constituents.
Still, health advocates say if you're feeling the effects of the smoke, don't ignore them.
If you're experiencing new or worsening symptoms, including coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath, and even chest tightness as well, you should contact your healthcare provider.
That's especially important for people with conditions like asthma or COPD. Children and older adults can also be more vulnerable to the effects of smoke. That can include limiting your exposure, keeping windows closed, and using an air purifier with an HEPA filter if you have one. Now again, if you feel dizzy or faint and live in the area or have been in the area, you're asked to see a medical professional as soon as possible. Reporting live from South Toledo, I'm Annalise Corneo Garcia, WTOL 11.
Stick with us here on WTOL 11 as we continue to learn more about the fire at Brent Industries. You can watch all of our coverage right now on WTOL 11+.